horrific and horrible than the second due to the use of mustard gas. Now, Jack, what else do you know about the war?
That plenty of soldiers were sent away from their homes to go and fight.
Very good. Alana, do you know anything about the war?
It was horrible. Yeah.
Very good. It lasted from July 28th, 1914 to November the 11th, 1914. The Prime Minister of London at the time was Sir Henry Abbott Asquith, something like that. Now guys, I'll give you a poem. You can have the call, and you can have millions of another step. It's okay, you can have one.
Oh, thank you.
You know you've got to read it out. What? Oh, you can have my favourite, okay. And here's an extra one for Kelly.
Yay!
Okay guys, so 100 years on we stand united in our grief and in our pain, with the extensive loss of lives. This is why I have chosen to portray all along the bottom the memorabilia. The memorabilia of the soldiers that have been lost. Lest we forget the war poet who brought to life the ghastly conditions that were portrayed in the war. There is no honour in war. War is a psychosis, and the expenditure of lives was largely unnecessary. This view is shared throughout many of the war poets today. One of the most recognisable and famous war poets is Alana's one, Wilfred Owen, who wrote Dulce et decorum est. He expresses the notion that there is no honour in war, where the soldiers are, Alana, bent double,
Like old beggars on the sex.
ironically portraying the soldiers as they had a hefty 50-pound pack. Along with witnessing the horrific brutalities of war, it ages men quicker than normal, and the soldiers and men had trench foot after losing they lost their boots, Alana. Immediately positioning the reader to start to become anti-war, Owen strips any doubt that the adventure is little. Where the soldiers are coughing like hags and limping on, bloodshot, the reality quickly sets in. Now the onomatopoeic sounds and the cacophonous chorus captures the hiss of the gunfire and gas as the bombs parallel the men, deaf by fatigue, deaf to their own notions as they signed up to war, oblivious to what they were going to do. The sibilant sounds of the gas, quick boys as they attempt to fit the clumsy helmets just in time, as the ill-fitting, one-size-fits-all helmets weren't the easiest to operate, as illustrated by the soldier here, is what could happen and what will be if he can get it on in time or if he dies. You know you're walking around with a mask on and you desperately want to take it off, but you can't because everyone thinks it's your face. As Pat Barker in Regeneration states, the way that we deal with war becomes a part of them, and as we're shown here, the multiple faces of a soldier, as he becomes and degrades through society and through war. The grotesque imagery of the men as they were drowning in the gas, as it forced all oxygen out of their lungs, but also the drowning and the cancerous propaganda that surrounds the soldier here. I've also shown how the social presses are relentless and they go even throughout the war, as the call-up continues even after the horrors have been exposed. I've included quotations from Archie's War and the call just to show not only one text but millions of texts also show the same. This text up here is a quotation from Archie's War. Are you going to just stand there and let others get there before you? I fragmented it to show the lies and the truth, all fragmented throughout the propaganda. The war propaganda. Similar to Owen, Siegfried Sassoon directly attacks the reader in his poem Suicide in the Trenches, which Caitlin has, which recounts a story of a young soldier who committed suicide in the trenches from the position of a bystanding soldier. Now I have chosen to display this poem by this soldier here, who has ended his life at the end of the war, when it all got too much. Now, why would I have used the I? Alana?
Maybe like it's like his mental state, you know?
Yeah, that too, but I've also included a link to Regeneration by Pat Barker of Wilfred Owen and Siegfried Sassoon as they meet at Craiglockhart Hospital. Recovering from the war, both men convalesce over shell shock. Owen's most harrowing nightmare is when he caught his friend's eyeball in the trench after he'd just been blown up. That image